GameCast gang, count, we are back. Episode 5.
Yes.
All that remains. It feels good to have 5 under the belt, though. I feel like we're properly back, count.
We're nearly at a full Pokemon party's worth of episodes.
Yes. It's good to have some consistency back, though, and I don't know about you, but I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think it's been a fairly no-frills affair so far. We have had some technical issues, and Mark is still trying to work his way back into like kind of a regular rotation with the podcast. We're hoping to get him on next week because I'm hoping to tap out because I've got physio. But before we jump into this episode, count, I just want to quickly update everybody with regards to the format of this podcast. And Count and I have basically decided that we're going to be, I think it's just called premiering via YouTube. That's just basically it in a nutshell. So it will act like a VOD that will be uploaded to YouTube like a normal video, and then it will premiere, live. So that, it should push out notifications like a live stream or like any other video that publishes, but you get to watch it live together as it unfolds. And the idea behind that is that Count and I felt that we could just deliver a slightly better quality of a better quality show, if we were actually able to have a bit of editing behind it and a bit of, filters, just improve the overall audio quality, etc., etc. And the one cool bonus to this is that we will actually be able to join you in chat as it's premiering live. So we'll hopefully be lurking in that chat so we can chat with you guys about the episode as it unfolds. So I think that's enough on that. Pretty straightforward stuff. It will unfortunately mean, though, that if you're in the UK, the episode may be a little bit late for you Wednesday now. So you might want to be thinking about Thursday morning or sometime Thursday to catch up with it when it's become a VOD after it's premiered. So that's the only crappy thing there regarding this change. But if you're in the US and Australia, you shouldn't be affected. It'll just be 2 to 3 hours later. But Count, today we have, I think this is just going to be a bit of a chill and chat fun episode. It's been a bit of a slow news week. We had one big VR announcement, and that's about it, which was Half-Life. Very cool. Don't have VR,
there was a thing yesterday that's worth mentioning.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I can find it again. Well, I know that the Star Wars game, whatever it's called, do you remember?
Fallen Order.
Yeah, that one. Has it's been selling quite well. It's got some very good sales figures. So
awesome.
That's good. Let me find a piece of news that I found yesterday that I thought was worth mentioning, at the very least. Because, Half-Life Alyx, that's a thing that's certainly worth mentioning. It was, it's the thing that will probably make VR into a big thing if it's ever going to be. And I think it's going to go quite well.
Yeah, I think it really does feel like VR's first killer app, doesn't it? It really does.
Oh, definitely.
There's been nothing in the VR space that has made me stop, pause, consider investing in VR before this game. I couldn't even tell you a big AAA game in VR. I mean, I know we've had like freaking ports of existing games like Skyrim and blah 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 blah. But this game looks like it's shaping up to be like a real flagship VR title from the ground up for VR. So, and like, let's be honest, like, it's no surprise that a Half-Life title is pioneering a new space, is it? Like, of course.
Oh, definitely. If it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Valve, and certainly one of the best ways to make a comeback.
Yep, absolutely.
What's the fucking news? Oh, Battleborn's shutting down as well, by the way.
So
Who
unfortunate.
remembers Battleborn?
I've been a defender of this game for a while. A very soft core defender. I'm not going to go hammer and tong for it. It had issues, right?
No.
But it did have a lot of style. It was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. But they royally fucked themselves on the multiplayer side. Like, they just couldn't. It was too much like a MOBA. It's like, guys, this is a little bit orkies. This is not fun in first person.
This is no.
But the campaign was fun. The campaign was very fun. But let's be honest, like,
well, yeah,
nobody's going to miss that game.
The other thing that I thought was worth mentioning is that Cyberpunk 2077 promises quote-unquote wise monetization, which seems to indicate that the multiplayer portion of the game may have some sort of microtransaction element in it. I can't say it would be something that would affect me, because if I'm going to play Cyberpunk 2077, it's certainly not online. It's going to be a nice single-player game for me, but...
You mean you're not playing Google Stadia?
I would rather fucking not.
I mean, to touch base on last week as well, yeah. Crash and burned, that did.
It has burned hard. Literally everything that could go wrong about it has gone wrong about it.
We recorded the day that it went live into the wild, and it was no surprise.
Yeah.
I think we knew this would be the case.
Apparently, it's actually it's overheating Chromecasts as well, which is amazing.
Oh man, yeah, that's incredible.
They lied about the 4K 60 FPS experience and having to excuse it in a very awful manner. They failed to deliver access codes to Founders Edition buyers, and it has had appalling sales.
Did you see the article or headline that was floating around saying or stating, or even suggesting from Google, that it was targeted towards a female audience as well, trying to capture a female audience? And it's... Well,
if it was trying that, then it fucking failed, didn't it?
I know, like what on that game lineup would get a female or a woman, a female gamer, frothing at the mouth? Dance? What
would be specifically for them?
Exactly.
Know.
I mean, you could argue that 3/4 of that list was pretty. I would argue
they had strong female characters in them.
Yeah, sure.
You can go for that.
You know, a lot of shooters, blah blah blah. Like Farming Simulator. Let's be honest. I know there's a lot of crossover. I know women like shooters, etc., etc. But if they were specifically targeting a female audience,
it's supposed to be directly for women rather than just for gamers.
Where's Sims?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Chicks love Sims, man. Every girlfriend I've had is like Sims.
To be fair, I got into The Sims because of an ex-girlfriend. That's fair.
They love it.
It's a fair assumption. Anyway, right. We've discussed the various bits of news of the week.
We're done. Let's move on to the fun bit of this episode, which is, let's just call it Gamer Session Fuel Count. We're talking about food, snacks.
Sure.
And we're also going to touch base, which we didn't really prepare for much. But we're going to talk about cool shit that we got out of food packets. So think your cereal box, think your chip packets.
All of the little game things that you used to get that you don't get anymore, and it's honestly the worst thing in the world that they've stopped doing.
I know. What generation of stupid child started choking on this shit that they had to remove it?
You don't get any toys in cereal anymore, so it must be that.
It
you used to get toys all the time.
What fat fuck... Sorry, Copper. What fat fuck... What fat fuck was shoveling chips so fast into his mouth that he choked on a fucking Star Wars Tazo or something?
Oh, it must have been someone.
Oh, God. Ruined it for everyone. Anyway, Cam, shall we start with our poll? Should we actually get into it?
We'll start with a poll. We ran a poll on our Discord.
Yes, we did.
To find out what the preferred drinks and snacks are for while you're gaming within our Discord.
It did quite well.
Our little community. If you fancy joining our little community, do feel free. It's a lovely place. We're getting a fair few people coming in at the moment, actually, who are actually talking, which makes a change. Don't feel so much like I'm just firing stuff into the void anymore. Anyway, so let's go. So we had a couple of preset categories, and we'll just go through in ascending order how well they did. The controversial 0 is Mountain Dew. Nobody has gone for Mountain Dew, which is a little bit surprising.
Health-wise.
Maybe it's one of those sort of ones where it's such a stereotype that nobody wants to do it anymore, or at least nobody wants to admit it anymore.
What about the classic Mountain Dew Dorito combo, though? Do you think if I put Doritos on there, Mountain Dew would have picked up a vote?
Maybe, but I personally think Mountain Dew is disgusting. And Doritos, I can really take or leave. They are not my favourite type of crisp at all.
Fair
So we have other in second to last place with 2 votes. So just anything that's not anything on this list.
Water was
great.
actually one of them.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Nice. We have beer with 2. We have Coke with 2. Pepsi with 3, which is fucking revolting. You
voted
just
Pepsi.
need to all go away. Ah, fuck
Pepsi
you.
Max.
Pepsi
It's
is
my
the
liquid
worst.
of choice for
no,
gaming. Pepsi Max
fucking
count.
hate Pepsi.
Oh, you can drink it like it's water, man, and it's tasty.
Pepsi is like if you took Coke and filled it with sadness.
Oh, it's getting heavy.
I hate Pepsi so much.
Look, to be honest, I would have picked beer, but you can only have so many beers while gaming, right? Because you're gonna be at some point you're not gonna be able to game.
Doesn't help your fine motor skills,
exactly.
does it?
So, yeah, I had to swap it out for something. And I would have picked coffee, but again, you can only have so much coffee. And when you're gaming, I like to really slam back the liquids. 6 peppies.
Yes, that was actually the winner. It was tea and coffee with 7, and that would have been my vote as well. Is a nice cup of tea. I don't think I actually voted in the poll because I was busy. Well, I can vote now if you really want.
Okay, all right. So
I'll
eight
put
for
my
tea
vote
and coffee.
on tea and coffee.
It's
'cause I'm gonna
live.
have it.
The sway vote.
I'm living in a swing state.
Look, I want to say, Kat, I'm quite proud of our group. I feel like we've grown and matured, and I think that's evident because we've picked tea and coffee over junk food drinks.
No, it's not that we've grown and matured. It's that we're quite old.
We just happen to be old.
We're getting old, yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 25 in like 13 days.
Oh,
So.
Kat, I wish I was 25 again.
Aw.
I'm 30
Yeah,
next
but-
July.
Yeah, but I won't be in my early 20s anymore. I'll be in my mid-20s.
Are you turning
I
25
don't
or
want
26?
I'm turning 25.
I'll tell you right now, it gets scary when you get to 26 because that's when you're like a year past the halfway and you're like, well, now I'm closer to 30. And you start to really grasp onto the 20s time that's evaporating. And fun fact, here's another fun fact if 26 wasn't happy enough for you. Biologically, that's the point that our body loses its ability to constantly 100% renew itself. So that's when you actually start to degrade in age, 26.
Well, it's a good thing I fucked my finger up and I'm 24 then, isn't it?
You've got 2 years of 100% life left and then you literally start to die slowly.
Fabulous. Well,
Morbid.
on that cheerful note,
Tea and
snacks.
coffee wins.
Tea and coffee is one of the drinks. In the snacks, we have got pizza with 1 vote. And burger with 2 votes.
Look,
Neither of which I would eat while gaming because they are so greasy.
Count.
And
burger was not on. It was not an option.
Right. It was just added as an option.
The people have
Because
spoken.
Emojis. Yeah. If you eat a burger while you're gaming, I am judging you hard
Yeah, fuck
because
off.
that controller or that keyboard and mouse is going to be just full of grease, and I hate that. I hate that so much. Here's the thing. I heard you pronounce it greasy, and I've heard quite a few people pronounce it greasy. Do you say grease or grease?
Okay. So if I were to come across a keyboard which was slippery, I would say that keyboard is greasy. But if I were to just speculate on it and just kind of view it, I would say there's grease on it. If I were to use it, I would say this keyboard is greasy, but if I was just looking at it...
So if you came across like a vat of grease, it is grease.
It's grease. If it's spilt on the floor, it's grease. If I was making a comment on what the floor was like, I would say the
on
floor
the
is
state
greasy.
of it, you'd say the floor is greasy.
Yes, exactly.
No, I don't. It doesn't flow off the tongue nicely to me.
It doesn't.
I don't like it. Greasy.
We had one the other day. It was like, do you call it like a period of time an era or an era? Era or era?
I usually say era.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's more of a colonial thing because I'm pretty sure more Americans say era than era.
Yeah, I say era.
So, yeah, because Australians kept a lot more of the English mannerisms compared to the Americans.
I think everything in general, language-wise, like spelling, everything.
Yeah, because you spell colour and everything correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah. No Zs, more S's.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Way off topic. After burgers with 2, we have candy with 2. A little bit better. It still can be a bit sticky. You don't really want a sticky controller. But yeah, it's alright. Chocolate with 3. Chips or crisps, depending on what part of the world you're from and how civilised you are, 5. And we have other with 6. Do we have any specifics on what other might be?
A lot of people didn't specify. Very weird though, right? I would have thought chips, bang. Of course, that's a perfect snack for a movie or gaming. Other though, we had. Let me just flick over to our general chat. Okay, let me scoot past all the Pokemon talk.
Carmen's Belgian chocolate oat slice we've had.
That was my mate Jimmy. Carmen's Belgian chocolate oat slice. He's a gym junkie, right? So he's a big unit. So he's carb loading while he's gaming.
Absolute unit.
And he did specify, which I'll specify for him right here on the show, that there's just the right amount of chocolate that it doesn't make me shit my pants because he's lactose intolerant. So he loves these bars. Another one of my mates, Red Eye energy drink, country cheddar cracker, which is produced by the brand Arnott's. I don't know if you have that count or the US have that.
Not specifically, no, but I know roughly what it'll be and what it'll taste like.
A cheese cracker, yep. And musk lollies. And this is a
what
trio.
Fuck is a musk lolly?
Yeah, I thought that would be very English, musk. You know, hard boiled lollies and stuff, like the flavoured musk sticks? No. Okay.
I'm aware of like hard boiled lollipops, but musk flavoured.
It's God, how would you describe it? You really can't describe it. It very much is its own flavour.
I don't think that's the thing we have over here.
Okay, if you're not sure what that is, go Google it, because I'm sure Google will have a pretty good explanation of the flavour.
Okay.
But I'll tell you right now, it's a fucking weird trio of
no
gamer
fucking
snack.
shit.
Very
Is
strange.
Red Eye similar to Red Bull?
It's an energy drink, that's all I can tell you. Apparently it's not as sweet.
Okay.
So that's all I know.
Okay.
It's probably only an Australian one as well, because you know what energy drinks and drinks are like. They're very localized.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's only. Yeah.
Do we have anything else? We had a Ritz Crackers Boys. I think that's.
Do love some good Ritz crackers.
Yeah, I don't mind a Ritz cracker.
Wetty Spaghetti. No idea who that is. Well,
worked with her too.
That suggestion.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, she's English, so she's on. If that puts some extra value on opinion for you, count with her Ritz.
I do love a good Ritz cracker.
She's always... fuck, what is she always banging on about? She's banging on about jammy Dodgers every second day.
I do love jammy Dodgers. They're so good.
I think that's about all we had for food. People really didn't specify, even though I asked. Yeah, other... I'll say now, though, Count, I'm a bit surprised. I know you weren't for the pizza, right? But... think back in the day. I feel like the pizza would have been a lot larger if we had, say, all subtracted 10 years off our life when we were LAN partying.
Maybe.
Because the pizza LAN party sleepover, that was big shit, right? Everybody got around that. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Pizza is a victim of time.
Joe Chip suggested tea and biscuits, as in cookies,
Of
Americans.
Course.
Yes. To be fair, that's probably it'd be for me, food-wise, it'd be either biscuits or chocolate. That's what I would eat while gaming.
Chipped and peppy.
Yeah.
Get it in me.
Exactly. I'm very, like me and Joe, we're both very British people when it comes to some things, and this is one of them. And then Krabby Scorpion chose milk and crisps, which is
Interesting.
just wrong on every level. Why would
Milk
you? No.
and crisps. Because, like, if you're eating a cheesy, like, chip, right, your mouth's going to be getting washed out with milk that's going to taste like cheese-flavoured milk.
See, milk and, like, if you have things like Oreos or even just, like, a digestive biscuit, that's nice. Sorry, graham cracker, Americans. This is the problem with food. There's so many bloody translations to America. It's like cilantro is coriander.
Yes, we call it coriander.
Yeah, it's coriander. It's not cilantro. Why cilantro? I really don't get that. Anyway, I only worked that out recently as well, and it really because I've been watching a lot of Bon Appetit videos, and they keep going, "Oh, we just need a bit of cilantro in this." I'm like, no. What is this?
Yeah, I have to admit, I would have loved to have had like a chalky biscuit on that list or something as well, but I feel like that's something that absolutely wouldn't translate because everybody has their own chalky biscuit. For me, it's the Tim Tam, the Arnott's Tim Tam.
That's fair. See, Tim Tams are quite similar to penguin bars here.
Oh, we sell those. I sell those at my workplace. I have to give those a go then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think we got like 2 different flavors. Is there an orange one as well?
I think there's still an orange one. There used to be mint ones. I don't know if they still do those.
All right, I'm going to buy a packet on Saturday.
I don't like mint chocolate, so it doesn't really go with me.
No, also not a fan. So, there we go. There's our snack list. Yeah. Let us know your snacks below.
There's our snack list. Please do give us a comment on what snacks you prefer while gaming. This is a weird topic, isn't it?
This is a weird episode. I don't know why we do this.
It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun because it's a slowish news week.
Well, I think it's going to be a slowish probably end of the year, really. I mean,
yeah.
Not much
I'm already
left
I'm started compiling my lists of like my whatevers of the year.
Yes.
I've compiled my list of albums of the year.
Yes. Quick plug as well for upcoming content.
Oh yes, upcoming content.
Yes, 2 episodes we have we're working with Joe Chip. So one will be on his channel, one will be on our channel. I believe we're doing our picks for games of the decade on our channel, right, Count?
Yeah, we're doing games of the year and games of the decade in one rolled up episode, I think, on here. And then on Joe's channel, we're doing the biggest news events of the year in one lovely episode.
Spicy year, another spicy year.
Zesty,
definitely. So again, we had a date squared away, I believe, or something for recording for the game.
Yeah, it's like December the 7th, December the 8th, something like that.
I would expect it mid-December, I think.
Early to mid-December is when it should be out in the wild, definitely. But yeah, so I've started compiling my list. So far, my games list consists of Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that's it.
Love it.
Because honestly, looking back at the year, I'm really struggling to remember what I have and haven't played.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man. It's going to be a real tough decade to sift through. My biggest fear is though that like it's just going to be the middle. It's going to be like fucking Call of Duty 1 through 4. Disgusting, I know. But yeah.
I thought of 2 more for my list, so that's good.
Let us know.
I'm not going to tell you spoilers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know your picks again down below and keep your eyes peeled for those videos. Again,
yes,
we're having one on the GameCast channel, one on Joe Chip's channel, so go check out his channel, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And again, if you guys want to vote on our food and snack and beverage poll, you can join the server. The poll's still up. Come say hello, shout your preferences at us. The GameCast Discord server link is down below in the comments. But Count, let's move on. Let's quickly move into the last little tidbit of fun. Cool shit you got from food packets. Again, this is not really a very prevalent thing anymore, which is... I think this has to be my biggest gripe with Western society.
You don't get it anymore.
Is that we don't get this anymore. That if I had to have a pet peeve with, the modern world, it would be this, right? It's not petrol prices. It's... where are my Tazos? Where are my video games in the Nutrigrain packets?
Yeah.
It's
see those were the best ones for me. Is when you got it was always on a mini disc as well. It was never like a big CD. It was a mini disc with a little game on it, and they were 99% of the time pretty terrible. But the other 10% of the time, you got something that's just like, ooh, this is a fun little game.
Yeah, an absolute gem. Did you ever get any real games, Kat? Like real bona fide AAA games?
Not AAA games. I remember getting... I don't remember which one it was. It was a decently popular strategy game in one of them.
Was it Age of Empires?
Me what it was. I don't know. It wasn't Age of Empires.
Okay, because I did get that.
I don't think I have it here.
That was the...
But I know... Oh, really? You got Age of Empires in the cereal box?
I think that's like one... I reckon I did get other games, but they're like what you said. They're so forgettable, I literally can't remember them. But I do... Mini discs ring a bell. I just can't remember what I got. But the one game that sticks out, and I think I've been over this before in like one of the other billion podcasts we did, but Age of Empires, the original, I got that out of a Weet-Bix box. Do you have Weet-Bix?
Nice. We have we call it Weetabix.
Weetabix. Okay, same shit, right? So Age of Empires out of that packet. So we're talking like I paid $5 for the original Age of Empires, and I remember sticking that bad boy in my Windows 95 computer. And before the days of DRM, I'll tell the story again. It was hilarious because I told my mate, my best mate, I was like, mate, I got Age of Empires out of Weet-Bix box, right? So straight away, I think it was one of those 1 in 5 would get like whatever prize.
Oh so, yeah, you get like so most of them get a shit thing or nothing at all.
Yeah,
and the one gets a really good thing.
Yeah, it would range from like the Australian cricket team cards to like Age of Empires being the grand prize, right? So,
wow.
he went down to the shops and he bought like a bunch of Weet-Bix packets, and I think he ended up probably with every single Australian cricket player, but not Age of Empires. So sucks to be him. He probably had like 100 Weet-Bix or something. But before the days of DRM and we just had internet, we were just cluey enough to figure out that the computer had a CD burner because it came on CD. So nice. I ripped that bad boy, got a crack, and I ran it over to him and we LAN. Do you remember Hamachi? Is that still a thing with a virtual LAN network?
Oh, I don't think it's still a thing. But
yeah, so we had to use that because obviously we'd ripped it and there was some form of DRM still present. Yeah. But so we freaking Hamachi LANed Age of Empires for weeks. So that was massive bang for buck. I loved it. Really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's one of those little things. And then sometimes you'd get like a video game related toy or a movie related toy. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, they're really cheap, but there's something special about it when it comes out of a cereal box.
It's the surprise. It's the surprise, man.
Yeah.
It's the lucky dip.
It's the same reason things like Kinder Surprises are still popular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although,
how the fuck? Okay, sorry, go on, Cat. It's probably going on the same part.
Weirdly now they're themed. Like, they will have a theme around them. And it's just like, they don't have generic ones anymore, really. They just have like, hey, here's like the current theme for the boys one and the girls one. It's like, I just wanted like genuine surprise ones.
Yep, Star Wars is Disney, very frequent. Frozen.
Fucking Frozen.
They must.
We get a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles around here for some reason.
Okay, we don't get any of that here. That's interesting. Very interesting.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna tie it back into how the hell can Kinder Surprise have little chocolate eggs that have little toys in them that are for kids, but we can't buy a family bag of chips that has a Tazo?
Yeah. I used to love Tazos. They were so good.
Is this something like a what do you call it? One of those petition websites. Should we start a petition for like bring back the fucking chip packet with the Tazo? You know what I mean? Like change.org. Is that something that we could make happen? Like, is that something we could look into?
Not,
like, oh my god, please. We build our own company just to make our own Tazos and
they did a series of Pokemon Tazos. I think they were in cereal boxes, and I used to be like, Mum, get me these cereals, I want these Tazos. And she was just like, really? You want those expensive cereals that just have the little toy in them?
Yes, Mum.
Yes!
Mum, please, I know what I want.
That's exactly what they were for as well. It was just like, hey, buy this nice expensive cereal. Pester your parents for loads of boxes.
100% worked as well. Every time. Almost every time. Did you ever have a brand of chip called Samboy?
No.
Okay. Because this one is something else that I'd like to bring back. Samboy still exists, but it used to give you your own flavour sachet. So you could mix the desired amount of flavour in. And I know that seems like, oh, what the fuck, who cares, right? But the thing is, they give you so much extra flavour, you could make this shit, like, nuclear.
There's a brand of crisp. I think it's Kettle.
Yes, we have Kettle.
It might be Kettle, I don't know. There's a brand of crisp over here that they do that with the salt, and they literally just have the salt in a separate sachet inside. And you're just like, hey, I want almost no salt, or I want all of the salt.
That's exactly what the Samboy packets were like. So you get like
nice.
They call it like tomato or atomic tomato, depending how much you'd put in.
Atomic tomato.
Yeah, that's what all the flavors are like. So yeah, man, I wish the old days of junk food. But again, Tazos, man, I have so many Tazos. I don't
got rid of
understand.
all of mine, and I'm really depressed that I did. I remember when they did like some limited runs of metal ones, and they were like the best thing in the world.
See, the only thing the only thing I'm disappointed about with my Tazos is I specifically put aside the best quality ones. I've lost those, but I've still got the hundreds of others that I just didn't make the cut. So I'm like, fuck's sakes.
See, I'll bet is that because you put them aside, they were more visible. So when your family were having a clean out, whatever, your mum was like, "Oh no, she doesn't need these anymore." He doesn't play with them, and just got rid of them.
I know, but I had so many. I think like I had so many. I had like Looney Tunes, Space Jam was a big Tazo when I was like growing up. So that was real cool. You get the holographic, fake 3D Space Jam Tazos. I had a few Star Wars ones somehow. I don't know where they came from because I don't think that was really a 90s thing. And
most of the ones I had were Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh themed.
Yeah, I didn't get any of those. I did though get a shitload of Dragon Ball Tazos. That was just red hot.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, but like, do you remember Dragon Ball Tazos? Or did you even have those? Because it seems so specific to your area, though. Because like I didn't see any Yu-Gi-Oh ones,
I think
or Pokemon
it must
ones.
be because I remember Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon when I was little were the big cartoons. Like that's what you watched.
Because Pokemon was big when I was still because I'm only like a few years older than you. Pokemon was very big. Like it was Pokemon. At least here airing at the time was a big trio was like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and then Yu-Gi-Oh kind of tacked on after Pokemon, like had kind of its like big air run. Like Yu-Gi-Oh was kind of the later half of when I kind of became disinterested with morning TV. So yeah, it's interesting that I didn't see any of that. I guess it's the brand deals and all that kind of stuff they make. Rights.
Must be. Yes. Let's try and tie this back up in a nice little loop.
Yes, let's wrap it up, Count. So
yes.
Thank you for joining us for our Ramble Junk Food Tazo episode. Let us know your favourite foods and beverages down below in the comments or in the Discord server. And again, what did you find in a cereal or chip packet? I'd love to hear the crazy gems.
Did you find any amazing video game things or anything like that?
Or
anything that you played for hours and hours?
Have you got something that's worth money?
Random shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, none of it will be worth any money.
Who knows, man? We should look some of this shit up.
I mean, it might be worth money in like 30 years, but at the moment everything's in like the trough of zero value.
I will, before we record next time, I will dig out my Tazo collection. I'll see if I can find the Star Wars, because I have original trilogy Tazos for Star Wars. But again, we're getting back into it, so let's bail out. Let us know your picks. Let us know what you found. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And please remember to hit that bell notification so you get notifications on your phone when we do premiere the All That Remains podcast. And lastly, keep your eyes peeled for the episode that will be popping up on Joe Chip's channel with our wrap-up of the year and GameCast, which will be covering games of the decade in the next probably week or two from now. But we will be back next week with another episode of All That Remains. Have a good one.